Hi, my name is Michelle Waltman. I'm a teacher in Cortez, Colorado with sixth grade social studies. Today I'm going to give a quick presentation that will reflect on the amazing experience I had as a teacher on public lands at Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. My main goal or project that I was given by the education coordinator Anna at CANM was to update the educational loan kits that CANM has available free to anyone in the contiguous United States. They already held the artifacts and regalia, but lacked culturally rich lesson plans that were user friendly for teachers. But they have that now. In order to create culturally rich lesson plans, I got out there and did some research. After a morning hike at Painted Hand, I felt calmly creative. Researching in the gallery helped me make sure I had an accurate information in my lesson plans. Taking the real life artifacts and turning them into quality lessons was top priority. These are pieces from the artifact kits themselves. It was a blast organizing them and getting them ready to enjoy. Look at all the styles, shapes, and designs. It was so fun. Organization went from this to this. Students and teachers will both be engaged in these activities. One of the perks of being a teacher on public lands was the time I got to spend with current BLM employees and learn about their craft so that I can promote that career to my students. I got to spend a few hours with a genius who makes maps and highlights trails and many other things on BLM lands. I got him to even sign a map for me right here, and he set me up with a whole bunch of cool maps like this one here for my classroom. Great for a social studies teacher. I went out with Laura, who was a geologist. She was checking on wells and sites to see if they had been reclaimed properly. This one had not, so she will certainly be following up with that. We got to see some beautiful country, and I learned a lot about well sites. It was awesome. My husband and I went out on a Moonlight Ranger led hike to Sand Canyon. We hiked a mile one way in the light, and then we hiked back in the moonlight and watched the desert come alive at night. Thanks to our ranger, Nick, for that. My law enforcement ride along was super fun. I was a little anxious at first because I was afraid somebody might be out there looting and they might have to defend themselves in any means possible because I always go to worst case scenario. But my guide, Matt, was very willing to explain his job, his tactical equipment, and his experiences on the job. And I signed him up to come into my classroom. He's not very excited about that, but I'll help him through it. The site that we visited was very special because it has a natural seep spring and it gives you a rare opportunity to see how water was found and utilized in this arid country. Law enforcement ride-alongs turn into cultural experiences around here. We were just out walking around the site looking for anything unusual, and sure enough, Matt came across this 800-year-old spear point. So that was pretty cool. We did get to stop and educate some folks about how you can't target shoot on BLM land. By the way, you cannot. And that was exciting enough for me. No big issues on law enforcement today, thank goodness. So all this research and time spent on BLM land helped me to be creative in the lesson plans that I made for the kids. I'm excited to share them. On the CANM website, let me slow down a little bit and show you this. On the CANM website, you will see, if you go to Canyon of the Ancients, that you can scroll down to their accordion and you will see a section that says educational resources, as most sites do. Sorry, there's one more page that you have to go to after this one. Oh, here it is, Canyons of the Ancients. It is buried a little bit, and they're going to try to get that unburied as soon as they can. That's why I'm showing you, because anybody who's watching this might be interested. And so down here you have these educational resources. And what I created there was a portal where you can gather all kinds of information about the loan kits, pictures, information. You can also request a kit. It looks like this. You can also get some resources that have websites and lesson plans. It's awesome. And a few other little things on this portal. There's a professional development opportunity coming up in June where you might get to come and do some archaeology classes like I did this June that were amazing and very helpful. So look for those. Okay, one second. So this is the space that I used, and this is where the kits are housed. It's very lovely and accommodating. It was really nice. I also got to have a nice fancy workspace in the room there, and a great part of being a TPL was the Dolores River was right down the road, and that's where I would spend my lunch times. That's not something we really get to do in a school year. Here's examples of the kits. This is the Bear Dance kit. It's full of color, great lesson plans, and great regalia. This is the Artifact Analysis kit. As you can see, the students are going to actually get to handle artifacts, and we even use modern day items to compare their lives to ours. The pottery identification kit is a ton of fun. Look at these beautiful, beautiful artifacts, and the kids identify where they came from, what type they are, and look at some maps and do some really cool identification. So thank you. Sorry, this is really great. Thank you to Anna and Amala who helped me to really feel comfortable in the BLM world. I hope that this is just the start of a long and fruitful relationship between them and I as I bring them into my classroom this year. What goes around comes around. They can be my cannons on student lands this year. So thanks for a great summer, Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. I will miss you, but I am sure glad I can visit whenever I want.